And we're live! We're ready for the penultimate race of the IndyCar. Steven's looking startled at me because he didn't realise go for night. Yes, this is an Arsenal football tuck rather than Indy Fanatic. Apologies, I've got to bring my Indy Fanatics tuck. Time to wake up, Indy Fanatics. Absolutely, we are awake. Our football team lost today, so we've just been kind of going, no, but no, IndyCar is the more important one. We did watch the F1 race as well. Max Verstappen naturally won, but some dodgy things in terms of racing from there. Hello! Stephen is pottering about.
I didn't realise we were starting at the moment. He just said we're live.
Yeah, have we got...
There was no communication here. We probably still got Penske 1, 2, 3 in the description.
Probably.
I've gone again.
Have we got the mic on? Tell me if you can hear sound-wise. I can't see it kind of coming up on thing, but yeah, just type in chat if you can hear us. We can hear you. Perfect. No problem at all. Right, because then that intro would have been completely useless if it wasn't there. We're turning on TV now. Race starts in about 15 minutes, doesn't it? We weren't with you on Gateway because it was ridiculous o'clock over here in the UK. And you know, I'm sounds a bit low. That's all. Okay. What we can always do, because we are here, we have our mic. I can end the stream before we go and then restart the stream. National Anthem in the background. Go for that. Has Stephen recovered from Nashville? Oh my God. Yes, that was the last stream, the mammoth 4.5 hour stream. We didn't get to fully appreciate that was Scott Dixon becoming the second most winningest driver in IndyCar of all time. I mean, and Scott Dixon, how he's pulled himself into this championship fight. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And corn! Matt Malarkey, great to see you in chat.
You want some corn?
No, I think we can have some corn if you want. just for how we go.
Popcorn, corn. I haven't recovered from, just to clarify, no, I have not recovered from Nashville. Yeah. I said never again, but we'll be back next year for Nashville.
Absolutely.
Version 3.
Absolutely. And apologies in advance. It's going to be an absolute, this has been a fantastic,
all over the place.
I know, right? This has been an absolutely fantastic championship fight. But we won't be live because Stephen is on holiday next week. I'm blaming Stephen, but I'm actually up in London next week as well. I can't get out of it, but I will go live on the Monday and we'll kind of do like a race review. And then when Stephen gets back from holiday, not another midnight stream, I know. But when Stephen gets back from holiday, we'll be able to do like a proper season review with you guys on live streams. And throughout the close season, I know obviously it's been a bit scatty with kind of previews and reviews in there. We've mainly just done the watch-alongs as we've gone here, but we will try to do some watch-alongs of old races. If you guys are interested in that, then we can watch along and watch some classic IndyCar races to go from there. We'll try and organise some driver interviews during this closed period as well, which will be pretty awesome. As always, because they were fantastic during the close season last year. But yeah, questions in chat. Malukas or Lundgaard for Rookie of the Year? I think Lundgaard will get the points Rookie of the Year. I don't know. I feel like Malukas is most improved Rookie of the Year. Christian Lundgaard probably is the out-and-out Rookie of the Year, but he is in the best machinery. I know we're stock cars in terms of a stock chassis, but Rahal Letman Lanigan definitely further up the ladder than a Dale Coyne Racing, although Dale Coyne Racing as a team punch massively above their weight in regards to the streams going for them. Where's the Scott Dixon interview? Oh, that's an interesting one. We are going to the Goodwood Revival, which is like the classic cars, 1950s kind of dress up and stuff. And Dario Franchitti, hometown boy, is going to be there. Max Chilton. Simona Di Silvestro is going to be there. And also Scott Dixon is going to be there. So we will endeavour to do our best to kind of bombard Scott and he's going to be surrounded by some Brits, and we're just going to go IndyCar, Scott, love us, Scott. Max Chilton interview. We'll try and get Max Chilton. We'll shout hometown boy at him, and he'll look confused and probably walk off.
I can't see the TV whatsoever.
Well, that's irrelevant. You don't need to see the race.
I kind of want to see Pato.
All right, okay, fine. That's true. Can you see the race now?
No. What are you doing?
Does that make it worse or
you
better?
You can't see the race.
No, but I can see the race here.
You mean this comes along here? This comes over there.
Oh.
You can see some pictures.
Yeah, there we go. Happy days. Hated Derry when he drove. Turns out I just hated Ashley.
I got some corn.
Brilliant.
Popcorn.
And for you guys watching.
Pato!
Corn! Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, Pato. Oh,
corn!
Sorry, the Pato Jack. Corn!
I feel like Daniel's our teleprompter. We just shout what it says.
Does anyone remember Bruce Almighty as a movie with Jim Carrey?
Yes.
And when Steve Carell's character has the teleprompter taken over, I feel like Dan is Jim Carrey taking over the teleprompter for us. And we're like, and in today's IndyCar news, corn! Brilliant. Dale Corn Racing. Oh dear, unbelievable. But let's get, what are your thoughts? Obviously, it's a quick preview we can do before the race. Scott McLaughlin is having a really strong end to the season. I think he's definitely going to be a title contender for next year. He's been absolutely brilliant. How many cars will shunt in the opening chicane? We want to be positive, but Portland does have this horrible reputation. I'm pretty sure we live streamed this race and we were like, Graham's going to do it. Palou! Wait, why is Palou one? He got taken out first. Alternative. What? Portland. But yeah, turn
Portland.
1 is, go from it. It's the Bus Bros effect. Absolutely. Newgarden was P2, wasn't he? But he took an engine penalty, which has him starting in P8.
P8.
Which will be frustrating for Newgarden. But if there's any driver who's determined at this stage of the season, it's Joseph Newgarden. You know he's going to grab the points and be there right at the end. But Will Power! Is he going to do it? Is Will Power going to do it? Is Will Power going to do it? Stephen told me today, he put out the dangerous premise that Will Power can win the championship today. Dangerous to be dropping those sort of predictions out there with a Newgarden retirement, a Dixon finishing 12th. And was that the kind of main
Ericsson
things?
P10.
Ericsson P10 and go from there. Dario is much better single. Okay.
I'm pretty sure if he wins today, those are the only title contenders. So he knocks out all the others, like the Scott McLaughlin, Palou, Pato, on the wings. If he wins.
If he wins. Indy Clean was clean, so hopefully it's a good omen. Let's hope so, Jack. That's a bold prediction that we're going to have a clean turn 1. That absolutely is. But yes, Pato, we'll probably do a quick run through actually of the grid and go from there. Stephen, you can give some thoughts while I get it up.
Thoughts? I'd already prepared.
Racing good.
I like Pato. I like IndyCar.
Pato is good.
Pato racing in IndyCar. Wait, news! Break the big news before the race. Colton Herta's going to AlphaTauri next year.
Confirmed.
If they can sort out the whole super license thing.
Which
could see him in a Red Bull in 2024.
I think was always coming. And we discussed this. I think Will Buxton on our side is a journalist who's a big IndyCar fan from England over here. I'm sure a few of you have heard of Will Buxton. He was saying Joseph Newgarden really should be in contention for that Alpine seat, but I don't think you could ever get Newgarden away from IndyCar. I think his IndyCar runs through his veins. He absolutely loves the series. But we were going on. We were going that realistically on talent, considering who's on the. Well, I guess it's because he's McLaren, and maybe they couldn't get him out of the McLaren roster. But Pato really probably should be ahead of Herta in any sort of F1 pickings. But Helmut Marko is notorious for not wanting to go back. It's why Pierre Gasly probably has never been given a shot or a look-in or a path back to Red Bull after there. When he makes a decision, he likes to stand by it, shall we say, and not give drivers a chance to improve. But yeah, Pato would probably be, I think, the best suited of those youngsters to head to F1. He's got the pace and also the consistency, where Herta's got the absolute raw pace, but lacks that consistency at the moment.
Yeah, but basically Helmut Marko, confirmed it out absolutely nowhere. I think he was getting linked to the Haas seat, I think, at one point. And then Marko just goes, we got Colton for next year. I think signed, as long as we get the super license extension, which actually in itself does look a bit dodgy. It may not actually happen, even if a contract's there. With how the stupid super license points get awarded in IndyCar, Colton basically can't get those this year, with where he is in the standings. So
he's going to have to do a lot of FP1 practices when the IndyCar season ends.
Yeah, which is next week. So.
Yeah, which is possible. Why would he leave Penske to be Max's understudy? Scott's a very good thing. I mean, look, we are massive hype guys for IndyCar. I think Palou, like I said, Newgarden is a fantastic ambassador for IndyCar. I know he maybe rubs some people up the wrong way, but I personally love Joseph Newgarden. I think he's an absolutely incredible driver over all three of the, technically four of the formats. Super speedways is Newgarden's probably weakness. But short ovals, road courses, street courses, Joseph Newgarden is just absolutely incredible. And he races hard each week and is Penske boy through and through. That's for sure. And yeah, Penske just are such a good force in IndyCar, constantly challenging for championships. If he goes to Alpine, that's not going to be the case. So why would he realistically want to give that up? I think it's a very good point. But back to IndyCar. I'm sure during maybe points during the race, if there was a lull moment, we can do that. But I don't think there is going to be the case.
Dalton Kellett to AlphaTauri.
That's it. Kellett. He's going to do it.
Kellett.
But let's talk to IndyCar. Let's go there. So Scott McLaughlin, fantastic. Look, I think Scotty McLaughlin is going to be absolutely fantastic. He's had a far better and the best sophomore season out of our sophomore drivers of Roman Grosjean and Jimmy Johnson. I think a lot of people would have backed Roman Grosjean to be the best sophomore driver, but Scott McLaughlin definitely has kicked on. He's been brilliant this year, and I think he's only going to go from strength to strength next year. Will Power P2, Christian Lundgaard moving up to P3 with Joseph Newgarden's penalty. Palou P4, Pato P5, Rosenqvist P7. Again, those McLarens, Felix is doing pretty much what he's done for the majority of, I'd say, the second half of this season. Qualified around about where Pato is. They've been pretty close with each other, if not beating Pato on occasions. Colton Herta, fresh off that AlphaTauri news, is P7. Joseph Newgarden P8. Alexander Rossy P9 in what's his penultimate race for Andretti Autosport, as he will be joining McLaren. Whether that's a good or bad thing, that's yet to be seen with how McLaren are on a constant thing. I know James Hinchcliffe, how they got rid of him wasn't particularly good back when they were Arrow. But yeah, McLaren as a team, the way they're going through drivers and treating drivers, I can see Pato maybe looking at that number 10 Chip Ganassi seat, and I really hope he does.
You're getting distracted.
Yeah, Malukas, P10. Graham Rahal, P11. Rinus VK, P12. A Dutchman won earlier in the day. Can a Dutchman win again today? We'll see. Carl Kirkwood, for AJ Foyt Racing, P13. That's a decent performance. Callum Ilott, who's had a very impressive rookie season with Hunko's Hollinger Racing. Roman Grosjean, a disappointing 15th. Dixon, a lot to do from P16. Jack Harvey, 17th. Marcus Ericsson, 18th as well. So Dixon and Ericsson really going to be hoping some cautions to fall their way to minimise damage in the championship, to stay within a shout going into the final round next week. Pagano P19, Connor Daly 20, Elio Castro Neves 21, Takuma Sato, 22, well out qualified by his teammate David Malukas, and that's pretty much how the season's gone. Malukas has just grown from strength to strength. Jimmy Johnson, 23, Devlin DiFrancesco, 24, a really disappointing rookie season, I have to say, for Devlin, and I can't imagine Andretti will hold patience too much next year if he continues to be around about where he is. And Dalton Keller is dead last. Poor Dalton.
Whoa.
But Dalton Keller is first in our hearts.
There's things in chat. You took so long. I was waiting to say stuff.
Cool.
The Big C was talking about who was leaving AlphaTauri. Gasly's going to Alpine. So it'll be Yuki and Herta. Next year, we've got a prediction of when Power retires, Malukas will take the third seat.
Yep.
You've said that before.
I've said I can see Malukas is a very Penske driver to me. He feels a Penske driver. I can see Pato being a Penske driver, but if I was Pato's representatives, I would be seeing, with how McLaren have been going through their drivers, I would go, let's get out of our own McLaren SP. I think they're a little way off being championship contenders. Will they just stay around where that Andretti Autosport is? And if that number 10 seat that Palou has vacated is going to be available, I would be like, hey, Chip Ganassi, do you want me? Because I want to challenge for championships. And Pato would absolutely kill it at Chip Ganassi Racing.
For sure.
I think that would be an incredible move for his career. And I would love to see Pato in a car that, well, since the aero screen, Chip Ganassi have been the best team. And I would say, even though we've got a Penske leading the championship, the Chip Ganassi racing car has been the best car this year. Yeah. It's just that Power's driven exceptionally well. Newgarden has delivered wins when he needed to keep himself within a shot of things. And yeah, but Scott McLaughlin just has lacked consistency. We're seeing just on, I'm sure you guys are getting the footage, the carnage of turn one. For whatever reason here, I think too many cars going into one.
I think it's just a big corner.
It's a big corner, and
so you can have like 4 cars going into it.
And you can make up a lot of spaces on turn one here. And yeah, we are
that Hinchtown having a car flow. Bro.
The worst thing is about turn one here at Portland is you could probably make a video by itself of just turn one incidents, and it probably would be about 5 minutes long. But before we kind of get too much into the chat as things go on, Scott McLaughlin is going to lead his teammate Will Power to pole. We're bunched up. We're all ready to go. We're going to get ready to go green here in Portland for the penultimate race of the 2022 season. Here we go. Scott McLaughlin looks like he's got a great start there. Alex Palou's in the all-green livery. He's still maintained his position. Pato is coming up the inside, though. Alex Palou. Question is, are we going to go into turn one clean? It looks good. It looks good for now. Yes, looks all clean as we go. There's a little bit of contact. There's I think the Ganassi cars. I think maybe Marcus Ericsson was in the PNC Bank ones. They seem to always run 2 PNC Bank cars here from there. Was that a double livery from there? But turn one was relatively clean at Portland. This is a miracle. As Jonathan Green says, good job, everyone.
Whoa, Lingard's got power. Whoa, someone's gone off.
That is Rinus VK, I think. Or Roman Grosjean. No, it is the DHL of Roman Grosjean. Grosjean has decided that the grass is part of the track. F1 is Cold Heart Series. I want Colton to be next year very badly, but F1 usually strict rules and don't typically become generous and inclusive out of the kindness of their hearts. Fair comment, Matt Malarkey. Fair comment.
Lundgaard, man, he's finishing the season strong.
Lundgaard's been fantastic. I think he's really going to take Rahal Letman Lanigan and drive them forward. If Rahal Letman Lanigan are be a team that's going to compete for race wins, it looks like it's going to be in the hands or the wheel of Christian Lundgaard. But yes, Christian Lundgaard has got wheel power. So we do have a running order after the first lap. So Scott McLaughlin has maintained his lead. Christian Lundgaard has moved up into P2. Will Power P3. Pato Ward overtook Alex Palou. He is now running 4th, Palou 5th. Malukas, a fantastic start for Malukas, actually. Missed that completely. Up from P10 to P6. Felix Rosenqvist holding his position. I'm pretty sure that was... No, it wasn't. He's dropped 1 position to P7. Colton Herter has lost 1 position to P8. Alexander Rossi again. Newgarden. Bad start for Newgarden, going down to P10. Rahal P11, Renus VK12, Callum Ilott 13th. Dixon has moved up to 14th, so that's 2 gains for him. Kirkwood hasn't had a great start, but that is your top 15. If you don't make the top 15, you don't get a shout out.
Kirkwood was the one.
Hello, Whacked Man.
Who ran Grosjean wide off the grass.
Who did?
The track.
Kirkwood. Okay. Well, I think everyone's been. I think the Americans are certainly not being civil to a Frenchman.
It was an ambitious move from Grosjean, and he didn't back out. And if you don't back out, you're going to have to go on the grass. You're going to have to take up a second job as a lawnmower.
I feel like Grosjean is getting a little bit of a reputation with the drivers, like a certain Santucci. And we all know how that ended with Ferrucci. Although capable of results on track, maybe there gets to a point where you don't get a seat. But I think Grosjean is set with that Andretti Autosport seat for a while, although he does need to buck up his ideas a little bit, I think. And consistency definitely needs to go from there. Stupid decision by Grosjean. Yeah.
Rahal gets Newgarden. Big for the championship as Newgarden now drops out of the top 10. That'd be 11.
That is huge. I don't know. I'm going to see. I'm going to assume, unless he's had just an awful start, that maybe Newgarden is on the primary tyre straight out the blocks. Because if he is, then we all know that the primary tyre, the kind of black rim tyres, they are slower. We have gone back to the sticker reds today. We had our new sticker greens, didn't we, for Nashville, which was like an eco tyre, wasn't it? It was constructed of, but we're back with this more familiar to the series sticker reds today. But Malukas is flying out there, man. He looks like he's getting close to Palou. And is he on the sticker red? He is on the sticker reds. I was like going to go, bloody hell, he's flying and he's on the primary tyres. But yeah, I can't see Newgarden's tyres. I'm going to hope that we can get a close up on the tyre shot.
I can't see it on race control.
Oh, Stephen can't see anything. Oh, as we get later onto the race, obviously we'll give rundowns of what the points are stands, because obviously massive implications in the race. The only good thing for Newgarden is that Will Power has also dropped positions, and it's teammate Scott McLaughlin.
Newgarden is on the blacks. But so, interestingly enough, is the man in P4, Pato!
Which means Pato gaining a position and now subsequently holding that position is very interesting, because usually, I say usually, but from our experience of one last race, I'm pretty sure the sticker reds were the race tyre. Just the blacks were the tyre that you had to go on. Every sport has a metric. Are you worth the trouble you bring? Rogro is one end of the meter. Dixon's the other end. Yeah, agreed. And then you've probably got someone like Pato Award in the middle. The tyres were made with gold. That they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds positive.
Yeah, absolutely. Corn! Stephen, what's your thoughts to the opening few laps of the race? We're 110 laps today.
Clean.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything more from that?
Well, trouble for Newgarden if he's going backwards, and Dixon's... Well, this first stint is basically survive, you know? You want to make sure that everyone's got their strategy going into this. You want to make sure you survive and you're still in the window to fulfill your strategy.
It's not even the first stint. It's just the first half of the first stint. Because when those sticker reds start to drop off, then obviously those alternates, your goal here is to have a really long first stint without losing too much time and to fuel save.
Yeah.
So that means you don't have to fuel save later on in the race and you can go hard on those red tyres. And then when other cars have to go onto the primary tyres, later on in the stint, you're going to be on the quicker compound. And if you've timed it right, where you're coming out without losing too much time, you're going to absolutely fly by everyone.
And it does seem like everyone's still in that position. Newgarden losing a few positions, but it's not a disaster. He's not like dropped off massively on time. And even though Dixon hasn't gained a million places, he's made progress. Every little step helps in this first kind of stint. I guess the windows are about lap 30, 40?
Yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes from there. Obviously, cautions throw things out the window.
Scott, help.
There we go.
Where's the pit windows, roughly?
There is nothing practical about a tyre that is knackered after 5 miles. Completely agree, but it is in motor racing. They do like to just kind of change the tyres. I know endurance racing is the only one that doesn't, because they just run and run. And
so you have to run.
Yeah, absolutely, because of the length of the races. Matt, I apologize for my butchering of Spanish. Waioli.
And he went for it again.
Waioli. No, wait, no, he's giving me helpful pronounce.
Nice.
Waioli.
Nice.
Waioli. 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 I'm not mad.
I'm mad.
I'm
mad for you, Matt. You're a disgrace.
I am a disgrace.
Alex
Spanish
Pillow, people.
Our best friend, Alex Pillow.
Apologise to him right now. There he comes. Here he comes. Apologise to him.
Sorry, Alex. Sad thing is, Alex doesn't talk to us or watch our videos anymore. Sometimes.
Get the violin out.
We didn't grow as much as he did. We just...
Yeah, we didn't buy all this fake. I didn't say anything. I didn't.
Wow.
I'm not bringing up a certain YouTube channel that was bought by the Flow management team. No. Nothing was said. That was just a little...
Unacceptable.
A little blip.
Unacceptable.
Error of judgment.
But this is, for those of you, if you are watching, I know we generally got loyal fans. 16 thumbs up on the stream already is absolutely fantastic, guys. And as always, thank you so much to everyone who tunes in and watches our streams. We know, especially this season, 2021 was the launch of Indy Fanatics. 2022 was the year of sporadic Indy Fanatics, where we randomly popped up on your screen and go, hello, is anybody still there? And you're there with us. But thank you so much for all the support. Thank you for giving the thumbs up and helping keep these streams there. The support, the conversations, these live stream watch-alongs for this year have been absolutely incredible with you guys. And we've had some incredible scenes from go from now.
Well, now 2023 will pan out. Who knows?
Maybe it's a hybrid between the two as we get closer to the hybrid engines in IndyCar.
Nice.
Nice
segue.
Nice segue.
Meanwhile, Scott McLaughlin continues just to drop everyone. He's pulled a 3-second lead. We're struggling to get everyone and Scott McLaughlin in the same camera shot. Such is his lead. But there's also top 3 are 4 seconds, and there's another 3-second gap between obviously Pato on those black primary tyres.
Like Pato's job today is just to hold on. Hold on in there.
Yeah.
In this first stint, like you said. It's going to be interesting. I imagine we're probably going to have a few stalemate laps up until the point where those reds start to drop off. And as we've seen in kind of previous races, Scotty Mack said, see ya. Penske will screw over Scotty somehow. No, don't be like that. They screwed over Will Power last time we were watching a race with you guys in Nashville. Wasn't it? They screwed over us.
Still haven't forgiven.
Still haven't forgiven them. They pitted Newgarden and McLaughlin left.
I mean, they made the championship a lot more interesting, but
they certainly did. Manufacturing. Penske went up.
Manufacturing.
He's like, I've got my willpower cap on. I've got my NTT IndyCar Series cap on. My willpower cap says he should win the championship. My NTT IndyCar Series hat says, don't pit Will. Make the championship go to the last race. It's what we do. and he kept that hat on
the cap
when
he
the pit
kept,
window
yeah.
opened. So it was really unfortunate for Will. It was a constant switching act through the race, and unfortunately, at that point where it was vital for his strategy, he was wearing the NTT IndyCar Series cap. Italian commentators speak like Mazzoni.
What does Mazzoni sound like? Mazzoni. Mazzoni?
Mazzoni.
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 Nice.
Mazzoni.
Is that what it sounds like?
Mazzoni.
Where's the hand gesture coming in?
Mazzoni.
Nice. I'm glad this evolved.
Yep. This is what the rest of the stream's going to be. What's going on the track? Mazzoni.
Wow, I don't get this hand gesture right.
Mazzoni.
What? It's changing every time.
See, you got to be flexible with it. But yes, these laps will probably stalemate because we've seen in previous kind of road courses and street courses that when that red tide does go, it can drastically drop off a cliff. And you can see drivers, especially if they look up, go from there.
First bidder, Roman Grosjean, going alternative strategy.
Well, he went wide on the grass first up, so he's going to have to do something to try and salvage his race. But this is the first one who's gone off strategy. Lap 13 is our first pitter of the day. 110 laps here to run in Portland. So it is quite a short lap. It's not an increased length. We've already had kind of 14 laps already, all green so far as well, which is fantastic. Could go from there. Interesting note, Scotty Mack and Lundgaard have not touched P2P. Everyone else until Harvey has. Very interesting. Just reminding Mike to yell the word corn. It has been more than 10 minutes since the last time. Well, you got it.
You got it. Doesn't take much.
And Scott Dixon is in on the alternate strategy as well. So he is coming off the black primary. So he's now doesn't have to be on the black primaries again. I don't know if that's a scuffed. It looks like maybe a scuff set of reds. I don't think that's a sticker reds. I think the positive for those, I think, like I said before, a lot of you are hardcore Indy fans that don't need the explaining. But if you go into a scuff set of reds, so that's, not completely fresh new tyres on, it means that they can get up to temperature quickly. So therefore, you're hitting more competitive lap times quickly, where it can maybe take a lap and a half, maybe to get completely sticker reds up. And that can be the difference in stints. But they look pretty new. So they might be new.
New Garden's in. New Garden is going alternative. There are quite a few alternative runners going right now. I can't remember who went. I think Kirkwood was with another batch of words. Dixon, I think, is going alternative as well.
Well, I don't know. Just looking at this, I'm pretty sure Grosjean was as well. But the three who have pitted, I mean, there have been other pit stops, to be fair. But the three key guys that we've seen, Grosjean is key, but key there. Championship contenders, Newgarden and Dixon, both were on the primary black tyre. Now have both switched onto the sticker red. So I don't know if they were going, stuff it, we're losing too much time. Let's just get on the quicker tyre before we lose too much time. I mean, in fairness, Dixon hadn't lost a lot of time. He just hadn't really progressed after those initial 2-1s as there. That is an interesting one because Pelot is on the sticker reds, I'm sure. And VK's in as well. So, Steven saying the pit window might be around lap 30. Nope. Looks like it's opened around lap 11 with Roman Grosjean. And people are already in covering undercuts, overcuts. Was it the undercut that was really powerful here last year, which saw Graham Rahal move up to the top?
Yes, maybe. Possibly.
Because I'm pretty sure on the last stint, Rahal stayed out long, and that's where Pelot came through and overtook. Sorry for our random eatings of corn and stuff like that, but it now seems to have become a little bit of a tradition ever since Iowa. And the famous first iterations of "What's your snack? Corn!" For anyone who is looking at us really confused of why we're having corn. Newgarden hasn't started very strong. Absolutely hasn't. Is this Dixon? Yes, it is. This is Dixon on VK, desperately trying to get past him. Obviously, VK pitted before Dixon didn't he? So
After he pitted with Newgarden, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did go after. But like we said, those tyres have come up to temperature. That is an absolutely fantastic on the back straight overtake from Scott Dixon. VK was going to have another look. Malukas, Rosenqvist, and Herter all in as well. So yeah, those red tyre life is not holding on at all. So I don't know if those on the primaries were just thinking that they were losing too much time and they needed to get on sticker reds to try and get an undercut.
Look how close Newgarden nearly nailed Palou there.
Yeah, very true. And there's even a chance he could steal because Palou has been out a lap. They definitely both are going to take Felix Rosenqvist, it looks like. Palou gets past through there. Whoa, that is a big lunge from Newgarden. Is he going to try and get the inside?
On the switchback.
Look at the traction on that exit. Down the back straight. Should be an easy overtake. He'll now be chasing down Alex Palou. Newgarden is definitely looking far more confident on the sticker red tyres. That is championship leader Will Power. Looks a clean pit stop. There comes out behind Marcus Ericsson, but more importantly, ahead of Scott McLaughlin. But I don't think Scott McLaughlin has pitted.
Will Power is on the lead lap, just ahead of Scott McLaughlin.
So yeah, that's important because he'll now start pulling away. Scotty Matt and Lingard in a little bit of cruise control themselves. Pato is staying out. So Pato is the only kind of major contender. I never like to say completely major contender because IndyCar, if it's taught us anything, anything can happen with it. But your major contenders, he was the last one of the major contenders still out in the primary tyre. As I say that, Pato is into the pit stops. Coming on to a set of sticker reds or scuff reds. Not sure what it's used. Obviously, we're on there. Herter on teammate Alexander Rossy has just gone and made the move. So that's didn't seem to fight that one too hard, Alexander Rossy. I know Herter and Rossy get on quite well. Pato has come out. That is a Dalton Kellett. But where does that put him? He's ahead of Malukas, where he was before. Behind Power, which is where he was before, and ahead of Palou. So looks like everything's pretty much stayed the same there, although Malukas has gone from there. Raz, great to see you. Sorry about missing your calls. I promise I'm going to call you. I know we haven't had a catch up for everyone. Raz is a fantastic F1 content creator. He's interviewed Sebastian Vettel this year. It's brilliant from there, but great to see you, Raz. Sorry. Honestly, I've seen him, been busy at work. I will get back to you. Everyone will say who contacts me, I'm awful at being on contact on my phone. People will go like a month and go, do you still breathe? And I'm like, yes, find me on a channel, Indy Fanatics. Here we go. There. Jimmy Johnson already down the lap. Oh, Jimmy, I think it is a serious question of next year. I know he's not taking anyone's seat, but it is probably a serious question for him. Does he just run ovals next year? I know you've brought it up quite a lot. But that's where we're seeing the best out of Jimmy Johnson.
Could you imagine? Close your eyes. Jimmy Johnson running an ovals only alongside Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel doesn't want to come to the States.
What? So there you go. That's there done. I'm not really fussed on that. Alongside Santucci,
I'm not too fussed on seeing Daniel Ricciardo in IndyCar.
Yeah.
You'd rather see Santucci.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
No, I like Daniel Ricciardo a lot.
I question this. I have this question every day.
Look. Daniel Ricciardo is a fantastic driver and he's a fantastic asset and his personality fits with IndyCar. He is a happy-go-lucky guy, massive smile. He would be absolutely brilliant for that paddock.
And he's a better driver than Santucci.
And he's a better driver.
What does Santucci bring that Daniel Ricciardo doesn't?
Results. As president of the Santino Ferrucci fan club. I will not have this blasphemy. As Scott McLaughlin, race leader, is in the pits and is a clean pit stop as he goes on to a fresh set of reds. Justice for Ferrucci. Top 10s wherever you go.
Where's Will? Is Will stuck in that traffic jam? How much time has Will lost here to Scotty?
Lundgaard stays out. Rahul's out. Ilot's out.
I don't know where Power is.
Ericsson hasn't pitted. So Power is P2 currently. Unless Lundgaard falls from there.
I'm checking.
In terms of distances, he's about 4 seconds off McLaughlin. So McLaughlin has held that. Since F1 has grown, I hope the US finally lets goes of the ovals that money men made to make a spectacle. Cheap housing for the greatest customers. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oval racing is fantastic. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't say it's one that makes the money guys rich. It's brilliant racing. It's what makes IndyCar what it is at the heart of it. You've got road courses. You've got street courses. You've got short ovals. You've got super speedways. You've got the greatest spectacle in racing, the Indy 500. Why would you want to get rid of ovals? Don't do this to me, mid-blossom films.
Willpower.
You have gone on a rant. I am not going to answer your essay, sir.
Willpower is close to Scott. I don't think we've seen it. It is legit 7 seconds. So Scotty Mack has pulled a gap on Willpower.
And interestingly, he has also pulled a gap on Christian Lundgaard, who has come out behind Willpower after pitting.
So Scotty Mack is looking really good because he's got the best tyre life here. Went the longest. Is looking in a great position.
Scott McLaughlin's won.
You can't say that.
Oval is racing. The fuck is this guy talking about? I'll give Jimmy his due. He has improved greatly in a difficult undertaking. He just has come up short in results and needs to stop. I think so, Scott. I think that's fair. I think he's done brilliant there. But I would be very interested in seeing Jimmy Johnson run more ovals because I think he has been fantastic.
It was only on that Gateway. He had a bit of a rough Gateway, didn't he? Mm. But other than that, yeah, his ovals have been pretty decent.
Malukas looks like he's lost out big time in the first round of pits. Dixon has gained a bit. So we've still got Ilott Ericsson to pit. And no, Rahul looks like he's gained again. Yeah, I don't really know where our standings is, but our standings after Ilott and Ericsson pit, I think, are what we actually look like. So Newgarden on that alternate strategy has made it work. I think he found a really good bit of clean track. And obviously the Penskes have looked strong from qualifying all weekend. Qualified 1, 2, 3. Newgarden obviously fell back with that engine penalty. But yeah, he was looking far more comfortable. He now looks like he is P6. And what was he, P11 at the first round of pit stops?
Power ahead of Lundgaard. Did you say that? Power ahead of Lundgaard?
Yeah, I said that.
Nice. I was just double checking.
Well, you were like saying, Power's 7 seconds behind. And I was like, and Lundgaard's behind Power.
I thought I missed it. Just had to double check.
Unfortunately, Roman Grosjean won't still be at Penske. As you've corrected yourself, it is Andretti, yes. Will Grosjean still be at Andretti? Yes, because they're losing Rossy and they're losing Herta and they're gaining Carl Kirkwood. So they're going to need some experience in that team. Which that actually is very interesting. Colton Herta going to F1 if the super license points can work. There is a very good Andretti Autosport seat. I say very good with Andretti not challenging for titles. Corn! Thank you, Daniel Philbot. Very interesting. So you're going to have Kirkwood, Di Francesco, and Grosjean as the drivers there, with technically one more seat up for grabs.
If they stay out full car,
VK's committed. Does a Linus Lundqvist come in? who's done very well in Indy Lights this year. I don't know from
That's
there.
such a weird team lineup, having basically 3 rookies.
Yeah.
I know 2 have been their sophomore.
Do they bring back Ryan Hunter-Ray?
Yeah.
It's an interesting one. Vettel to Andretti. I think Vettel... he ruled out Formula E, didn't he? And I think he pretty much rules out IndyCar on a philosophy basis.
Yeah.
Sebastian Vettel, Red Bull, and start Ferrari Vettel, I would love to have seen in IndyCar. This current Sebastian Vettel, I think he has motivations away from the racetrack that are stronger than his aspirations on track. I don't know the bloke. That's just my outside take on it. It's an opinion. It's probably wrong. Go from there. I
think he reached the peak of the mountain in the racing world.
Please, no more F1 car stuff. I know,
and
Scott.
He's looking to climb another mountain.
You know what? Who should get a seat at Andretti Autosport?
No! Don't, no!
Santucci! I pledge allegiance to Ferrucci. No, don't. We'll go from there. Santucci! No. Realistically, who should get a spot in Andretti Autosport is hometown boy Max Chilton.
Hometown boy! That's how I can get behind.
Let's get behind it. Let's go. Let's talk about FE instead of F1. Let's talk about IndyCar instead of both. No. You know who needs to lose their seats in F2 and Indy? Who? I feel you're going to tell me. Many F1 drivers have also psyched themselves out regarding ovals. I know. It's actually really fun racing, I think a lot of them do when they get on there. I don't view them as F1 castles. I view them as drivers who still want to race, bring some more fandom to Indy. Yeah, I guess Big C Burger, there's an alternative there. I understand.
Go on to Malukas. Is that Malukas?
I think it is Malukas. Yeah, it is. Malukas really did suffer badly. I don't know, is Malukas check on the primary tyres? Has he tried to get that stint in? Because that would explain why he's absolutely dropped off a cliff. But yes.
He is doing his one stint on the black.
And Ericsson is yet to pit, am I right?
Ericsson is yet to pit.
Wow. That is a mega long stint. He's on an ultra alternative strategy here. It's going to be interesting to see how that one plans out. But if we take Ericsson out of credentials with obviously his pitting, Scott McLaughlin is P1. Will Power P2, Lundgaard P3, Pato O'Ward P4, and Alex Palou P5. So pretty much the same top 5 from before the round of pit stops. Joseph Newgarden, big mover, coming up into P6. Graham Rahal benefited, I think, from the first round pit stops as well. He will be P7. Herta P8, Rossy P9, and Scott Dixon moving into the top 10. So again, progressing through places on the grid, and that's exactly what Dixon needs to do. Obviously, started P16 when he pitted. He was P14. He now is in theory P10, but it depends where Marcus Ericsson is going to come out to and go from there.
I think if Ericsson goes to caution here or somewhere along this race, he could legit have jumped into that top 5.
Calderon's probably a fair shout, but she's something different, more of an inspirational one. Although I do believe, there you go, Simona Di Silvestro. She's the real big one, I think. Is that the super volcano in the Yellowstone National Park?
Because I was talking about mountains.
Yeah.
We got a show of a mountain.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Mountains.
NBC are listening to us.
Absolutely. They know. But yeah, there's a super volcano, isn't there, in the Yellowstone National Park? I'm pretty sure. Is that Mount Ray? Is that what it is? I could be wrong. There's also a degree of nationalism. It is normal to cheer for those from the same country as you. Case in point, today's Dutch GP. Indeed. Mount Malarkey. No. It's Mount Hood. Oh. Ericsson is rolling the dice. He thinks he's in Vegas. Portland is nowhere near Yellowstone. Right. Well, that would be me just completely getting my...
That's why I called it a mountain, because I'm an intellectual.
Well, they're both mountains.
Is it a
Mount
volcano
Hood
or
is
mountain?
also a volcano.
I guess it is.
Cool. All right. Drogovic to IndyCar. I mean, that would be pretty cool.
Wait, no, but the super volcano in Yellowstone surely isn't a mountain.
Well,
Because isn't it? It's not actually that tall.
I don't know.
It's just giant.
Yeah. Anyway, what we've established here is the mountain that we did see on the screen was not what I was thinking about. But thank you for clarification. I have learned something in my American geography lesson today, which is brilliant. 32 of 110 laps on this race. Marcus Ericsson is still out on track. Wow, he is, I don't know, hoping for a caution, or is he hoping to edge out these black tyres? Because if he can stay out...
They've got pace. He's holding position against Will Power, who's on the race. Ericsson's in the pits.
Ericsson's in. He's in the pits as we speak. We tempted it. We tempted the pits. Where will Ericsson go? Will he gain? He looks like he's losing a lot at the moment. But I'm guessing because he went so long, 33 laps, and we had some people pitting obviously around lap 11, lap 15, he may have gained a pit stop, which obviously is huge. So he may have kind of missed out here, but overall, he's probably gained.
I tell you, if a caution comes out now, Ericsson's to the top and he's winning this race.
Wow. Ericsson's brand for a thing. Yellowstone is such a wide volcano, it's considered a plateau. Interesting. No problem. I am familiar with UK geography, only been there a couple of times when I was younger. Well, there we go. We can share a geography lesson of all. We have mountains.
We don't.
We do.
We have a few.
Snowdon's a mountain.
Yeah, that's in Wales there, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's UK. He said UK geography.
Okay, fair enough.
Ben Nevis.
That's
the biggest one.
We live near the South Downs.
Hello!
Whoa, Grosjean's doing the chicane.
Because Grosjean is...
Oh, wait, no, he's not.
Wow.
I think that could be a penalty because he hasn't followed the proper race procedure notes on.
Yeah, he went in really hot and understeered.
But I don't think he could
there.
do the chicane at that point.
Yeah, Grosjean is doing his best.
Hey, boy!
Grosjean is doing his best to change Portland to make it more of a flat-out track. So
No, because he went off. He was meant to come around to this chicane, but he didn't do this part. So that's the penalty.
I'll be honest with you. I think he just went through the boards.
He went through the first one, but he should have come back round to this one.
Oh, okay.
So that's a penalty right there. It should be.
Only Grosjean. I feel like Grosjean's love affair with IndyCar has come crashing down.
It was at the start of the race that Roman Grosjean's struggles in IndyCar this year have shown how competitive IndyCar is.
Yeah, it absolutely does. For all those people who are like, wow, Roman Grosjean hasn't gone into a great team, and it shows how uncompetitive the series is because Grosjean's getting pole positions going from there. It goes, no, Grosjean drove really well last year, and this year he's struggling to compete because the standard of driving, especially this year, has been incredible. And also you've got a team Penske who have just gone stronger and strong.
Scott McLaughlin, 8 seconds now. He's pulled a lead on Power and P2.
Bingo! When IMSA raced in Portland in the 80s, they did not use this chicane. Interesting. I love IMSA! IMSA is great. And World Endurance Racing. Don't watch endurance racing enough for sure. But it takes a long time.
He's got no time for that. 12 hours. I always find coverage. I have no idea when.
IMSA's great because it just is like a website.
Yes,
Just
it is.
free
Isn't
streaming.
It? It's true.
Free streaming. Motorsport Games brought Craft Kart 2, and it's been dead ever since. Sad times. Sad times.
They're the ones producing the official IndyCar game, aren't they?
Yeah.
But then the thing is, a ton of other racing sims have got licenses for IndyCars. Which
I imagine the new Forza Motorsport game coming out next year. We were supposed to get an IndyCar this year. NTT got scammed by mean Russian dude.
Mean Russian dude. Fair enough.
Back when it stood for international. Yes. Who were the brothers? Was it a brothers? Or who is the bloke who basically bought his own IMSA team, won the championship? Whittington. Yeah, I watched that. There was Netflix did the money one. He also won the Rookie of the Year in, was it 19? I'm going to say 86. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. It may be 84. He finished 6th in the Indy 500. Don and Bill Whittington were the other ones. But yeah, who was the Larry? I want to say, yeah, Randy Lanier. That's the one I'm thinking of. Was it 1986? Finished 6th in the Indy 500. But he was basically funding his racing team through selling weed.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a Netflix.
Nice.
You should watch it. It's like an hour episode or hour and a half, something like that. Yep, 86. Bang!
Whoa!
Look at me go. Boom! Pull that one out the bag. Look at us go stat-wise.
You lost everyone with the whole mountain.
Yeah, they quit.
But I feel like you pulled them back with that one.
I pulled them back.
I feel like you got
the
them
numbers
back.
going back up. They're like, so you're talking about racing again now? Yeah, let's go. So Scott McLaughlin leads, Power 2, Christian Lundgaard 3, who had overtaken Will Power at the start, but lost out on the first round of pit stops. Pato O'Ward and Alex Palou maintain positions, but remain in good stints. But having to remember there is Pato O'Ward has driven his stint on the primary tyre. McLaughlin, Power, Lundgaard, and Palou all have to do it. Newgarden sitting pretty in P6 again, has driven his stint on the primary tyre. Scott Dixon, P10, has driven his stint on the primary tyre. We've got to go from there. Newgarden, dark horse. I'm not sure he's a dark horse. I am stupid.
For this race?
All right, Charles.
I'm not sure.
I can't feel he was a dark horse when he qualified P2 and then he went back with an engine. There. Is this Dixon?
He's got 6. Newgarden's got to be looking at
Or is
Pato.
this Ericsson over the back of Jack Harvey?
This is Rahal, isn't it?
Well, no,
Graham, right?
it can't be Graham because Hurt is behind Graham, isn't it? And this looks
Sure,
like this
it
Marcus
is Jack
Ericsson,
Harvey.
so yeah, there we go. So Marcus Ericsson started P18 and he is still P18, but like we said, his big gains will come if he has managed to fuel save enough to save on a round of pit stops. Did you guys set your fantasy lineups today? I think I'm on my way to a P1 this week, Matt. Don't do this to me. I had Power, Lundgaard, Palou. Did you go Power, McLaughlin, Lundgaard? Bloody hell, that would have been crazy. And Malukas. Malukas has let me down at the moment. I've been repping Malukas quite a lot in fantasy. I've believed in him for now. So far, Newgarden has not rallied like his speed would have indicated. Yeah, I guess so, but he's only 18 seconds off the lead. I know that's pretty much getting into that's a pit stop category, but yeah, interesting.
I did indeed go Power, McLaughlin, and Lundgaard.
I have Power, Lundgaard, Pato, and Rossy. Ooh.
Pato could pay off big time.
Yeah. I just went last season's winner, Palou. It struck me as the typical race again that Palou will just turn up and do something. but maybe it is a Chevy engine race. Although Lundgaard's Honda, isn't he? Ray will let me go for that. Huge Newgarden fan, but I don't sugarcoat. I know you do, Scott. I know you do. Not sugarcoat, that is. Not, I know you do sugarcoat. Rossy looking weak. He is. He's probably the one letting you down at the moment, but he's doing better than Malukas, so you're a happier guy than me. Newgarden going to get Palou, and Lundgaard after the next stops may even snag a podium. May even snag a win. Now, I think I'm going to be honest with you here. Barring cautions upsetting him, I think McLaughlin has got this in the bag. I'm calling it early. I think he is been absolutely fantastic this weekend. Qualifying was superb yesterday, and yeah, he's flying. He is absolutely flying.
Power has taken 2 seconds off him, but I think that's just general traffic. It's still a 6.7 seconds gap. Yeah, dominating so far. But in IndyCar, it can all unravel with a poorly timed caution for yourself.
Absolutely. Over half the race to go. We're calling Scott McLaughlin to win the race. Well, I say we. I am. Stephen might not have banked on it this going from there, but he has been fantastic. Watch all the practice sessions too. A little obsessive, but it can provide insight. Absolutely, it can, Matt. I'm pretty sure if we had the time to, we would. But that is Newgarden taking Alex Palou. That was a fantastic overtake. That was an absolute brilliant overtake on track there, to be honest with you. And Palou is struggling there. He obviously had dropped quite a bit off Pato Ward in this stint. So, like I said, I felt like it was a race that there is... we can see what the tyres they're on there. No, Palou's on the reds. He's just got no pace this... tough luck.
Wow. Tough luck. Move on. Rubbish stint. Probably going to be a bad rest of the race. Move on. I'm done.
And Dixon is slowly coming. He's the highest mover so far. He is indeed. Dixon. Dixon. Interesting one. I think we've spoken about it in previous streams. I mean, I really feel like Herta is a flop. People act like he's the second coming. I felt like I've seen him wrecked car more than I've seen it driving. Look, the reason why people get excited about Colton Herta, because when Colton Herta is on it, he's incredible. The problem with Colton Herta is sometimes that simple rule in racing is to finish first you have to finish. He doesn't always abide by that one. And in defense of Herta, Andretti Autosport's car and also strategy at times, not necessarily his dad's strategy, but like the pit stops, they've just got it wrong. As a team, it hasn't been a harmonious kind of drive forward, has it? I think they've got like a segment of women in racing at the moment. No? Don't have that?
No, I was referring to your previous point about it not working out for...
No, Colton, yeah.
Brian absolutely. And Colton.
Herta is like the Charles Leclerc of F1, not like FP1 Will said that he's the Max Verstappen of IndyCar. I would much be more inclined to say that a Pato Award is more a Max Verstappen.
Herta the Max Verstappen of IndyCar?
That way.
You're having a laugh.
You're having a laugh.
Yes, because Pato is quite aggressive. When he gets... When he has the car beneath him, he does get quite aggressive, especially on the ovals. So I guess I see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty dominant as well.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I guess with Arrow McLaren SP, similar to a kind of Red Bull, they're kind of like third strongest team. I would say Arrow McLaren are now, I would say, the third strongest team in IndyCar. Quite comfortably this season. I think
this season, yeah.
We're developing, so maybe they keep improving and Pato stays with McLaren and develops them into this team that do start challenging the Penskes and the Ganassis on a consistent basis. But I think it's really difficult for Aaron McLaren SP. But I do feel they are also going to throw a lot of money and a lot of drivers at it.
For sure.
Let's talk about Brits and their love for sweet and salty popcorn. That's what we're having. That's what we're having. Today, just a nice blend of both. Corn!
Corn! Scott McLaughlin. Oh, the gap's still coming down. Will Power's taken another second out of Scott. I think, is Scott just stuck behind Dalton here? Is that who I see in front of Scotty Mac's car? It's now down to 5.8. So things are getting a little less comfortable for Mr. Scotty Mac.
And if we're looking as well, I think, is it Pato closing in on Christian Lundgaard? I don't know if he's been there or thereabouts all stint, but
he has. I think it's Lundgaard losing pace in the stint.
So we are now getting into the second round of pit stops. Dixon and Newgarden pit together. Dixon came in before Newgarden last time, didn't he? Or did Newgarden come in before Dixon?
Dixon was first.
Yeah, but I think there was only like a lap in it.
Yeah,
so they pit on the same lap this time. Dixon comes out there behind. Is that Callum Ilott? That is Callum Ilott and the Hunko Hollinger Racing car there. So that's interesting. So Dixon's going to need to either overtake Ilott quickly on track or hope that Ilott maintains a good pace that he can just run in clean air, or he can at least get a draft down the straights to kind of gain pace. Lundgaard is also in as well. He is going onto the black primary tyre. So this is going to be interesting. We obviously seen the likes of Newgarden, Dixon, Pato get that black primary stint out the way early, and they got rid of them early as well. It does seem a very slow compound. It certainly didn't help. Well, Dixon managed to get a lot out of it, and also Pato. I suppose Joseph Newgarden is the one that didn't really get anything out of from there.
He's stuffed.
Come on, you Spurs. I cannot catch Motor City Mum in Fantasy. I'm solid too. Motor City Mum in Fantasy has been incredible.
I'm just happy I won a race this year.
We're in awe of Motor City Mum in Fantasy. I bet if we sent
Scotty Mac's in! He was one of the last to pit in that first stint, and he's now one of the first to pit in this second stint. Are the blacks going on? The blacks are going on. This is the big stint.
This is the stint of whether he can win the race. And also Will Power is in, P2.
Also
he is on to the black primaries as well. So this is going to be a really interesting part of the race of where it comes. Scott McLaughlin just pulled out ahead of Jimmy, and Will Power has pulled out in front of, I think that's Dalton Keller.
Is that Scott?
No, that is Ilott. Sorry. So who was the green before? Was that Polo? Was
that Ericsson or was that Scott? Oh, it was Ericsson. Okay.
Is that Ericsson? Ericsson hit me.
I was like, Scott Dixon hasn't jumped Pato, has he?
Herter's in the pit. It was Polo.
Pato has jumped.
It was
Lundgaard.
Polo that Dixon was behind, so he was the one to go from there. But that means Dixon is massively moved up.
I don't care about Dixon. Pato's jumped Lundgaard.
Big hint. And Lundgaard has jumped Polo. Lundgaard has jumped Polo. Lundgaard was ahead of Polo. I meant Newgarden has jumped Polo. And no, he didn't, because he overtook him just going into pit. Ignore me. I'm rubbish. I'm going to stop talking. Stephen, talk.
Pato! That's all I've got. Who's looking really good? And this is the big stint for Pato.
Fire!
This is
fire!
How
fire
are the Reds?
Pit now! Fire! Fire!
Shut up!
Fire! Red Daly was on fire! Stephen, let's go. Stephen loves working with me. It's not work. It's just
it is work. This is hard work right now. This is Reds versus the Blacks. Pato obviously did a good job in that first, and Ericsson did a good job keeping pace in them. But like we saw, the likes of Scott Dixon and Newgarden, not so good at keeping the pace in those black tyres. Time will tell if Scott McLaughlin and Will Powell will be a Scott Dixon or a Pato Award.
Rails now into the pits. Is that an air? No, that's got to be Scott Dixon on the back of Alexander Rossy. Oh, interesting. Rossy has got, it was already ahead of Dixon. But yeah, this is a big move for Dixon in the race. But I think he's probably, I know we're riding on board with Alexander Rossy, but I think Dixon's probably lost his chance. He's going to have to find some pace somewhere because usually it's coming out of the pits that's going to need to. But I don't think Dixon's anywhere near as we go through turn 1, which is such an aggressive, actually, turn 1. You get so close to that wall. Don't misjudge that, that's for sure. That's where a yellow could come. Wow, this could genuinely be an all-green race. It's interesting.
Don't say that. Jimmy's still on the track, okay? So let's not get ahead of ourselves and we're going all green because Jimmy's still there, okay?
I was going to say, interesting. Power does seem like he's got closer to McLaughlin. 4.5 seconds roughly from there. 52 laps at 110, so we're approaching that halfway stage. But like we keep saying, McLaughlin Power on those primary tyres. How close will Ericsson get? He's going along, obviously trying to get this in. And how close will Pato Awards get, I would say, would be on there. Christian, and I imagine probably what's the length of the gap that Awards can get on Lundgaard now that he's overtaken him. Go from there. JJ still on track. Oh dear. We cannot support Arsenal and St. Louis because of Cronky North London rivalries on. Chris, I apologise. It is indeed 1st of October, North London Derby. That'll be a good one from there. But we digress from soccer/football. I know it's soccer your side. It's
whoa! Don't entertain the soccer argument here. You enforce football. Let's not divert. Go on to football.
Okay. Ad breaks. Chat overload.
Ad breaks.
We got ad breaks. I'll try and turn those off if there's a load of ad breaks on.
Indy Fanatics.
Ads.
Brought to you by
ads.
Mike and Stephen.
Ads. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Ad breaks equal chat overload. Yes. Sorry, Matt. Ad breaks is there. I thought it was.
You're still trying. You're still trying.
Everyone's going for there. Everyone's gone. This has been a car crash of the stream for me. 23, 24. Let's get it up to 30. Remember, guys, get the dogs on stream. Get your snakes. Get your lizards. Get your alligators. It's time to get this stream up to 30 participants in. Get them in.
Pato isn't making big inroads here on the top 2. It's not even making big inroads on Ericsson, who's got quite a used set of red tyres there. Ericsson's still running well. We're still going to be in that position where when Ericsson pits, if he gets a caution, he's going to get catapulted likely to the front.
McLaughlin is flying on these primary sets because he's gapped Power to 6.5 seconds now. That's an extra 2 seconds. That's insane.
Newgarden on the back of Lundgaard. Lundgaard started so well, but this race is just falling away from him.
We know this is probably a stint where Joseph Newgarden is going to make a lot of time up. He's 13 seconds off the lead as well. Him and Pato will probably be driving each other on. But yeah, Lundgaard, I feel like the way Newgarden's chasing down like a hound.
We do have to remember this is Lundgaard's slowest stint as he's using his black tyres. Whereas Newgarden is still yet to use those as he's still on the stickerettes.
Get your corn, carbs.
We're halfway through. 50% of the lap race done. All green.
Ericsson is in the pits.
Newgarden on the inside in turn 1.
Look at that.
And he holds it. He holds
Slick move. Lundgaard's going to have a look around the outside. He's got better traction out the corner. Can Newgarden hold on? It's a difficult part, very narrow part of the track there. But now that Newgarden's got a few corners to kind of piece together, those red tyres will have a massive advantage over the primaries, and Newgarden should start getting closer, I imagine, to Pato Ward.
Dixon on the outside of Felix. Ericsson on the outside of Felix. But Felix sticks the move, and here's another one coming through on Ericsson. Disaster for Marcus Ericsson as he drops out the top 15 once again.
But he has made 2 spaces this time.
Yes, true.
It's all going to be the final stint for Ericsson. He's going, I will do 1 less pit stop than everyone else. This first half of the race, his track position does not matter at all to him. He's all about making his fuel numbers and making sure that he does 1 less pit stop. Because if he does 1 less pit stop, he's up there on the podium.
Top 5.
On current running at the moment.
Possibly.
It doesn't look like he can get past McLaughlin, but he definitely looks like he can be top 5 for sure. So, O'Ward and Newgarden are starting to hunt down the Penske duo out front. Remember, this is their stint. They've got to eat into the lead of the Penske's here. I know Newgarden technically is a Penske, but the leading 2 Penske, shall we say, in this race.
Newgarden has already done his stint on the blacks, hasn't he? That was his first stint. That's why he went backwards at the start. So he is, like Pato. This is his big stint. And he is actually closing up on Pato. Quicker than Pato's closing up on the front. Front 2.
Livery for Marcus. I keep thinking it's Dixon. It absolutely is. It's a weird one. Chip Ganassi Racing always seem to run double PNC. I say they always seem to run double PNC.
It's a Jimmy spin! Woo! It's just not an IndyCar race about Jimmy
we
spin.
Shouldn't cheer. We shouldn't cheer.
I mean, he brings on himself. Every race is a Jimmy spin.
Ericsson is using Dixon's livery. They did this last year as well, but I think PNC basically get an extra little bit of funding to the or give a little bit extra funding to the Chip Ganassi team, but they run 2 cars. I don't know if this is just an area they're looking to promote a little bit more, but yeah. It was Palou and Dixon last year in the PNC livery, but this year it's Ericsson and Dixon. So I don't know if the highest 2 placed Ganassi cars run the PNC bank livery.
I don't know why Palou wouldn't have been given the PNC livery.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Silence. Just the sound of popcorn crunching.
Chris, we did do a little bit of talking about Herta to F1. It always feels like it's been coming. It was very close last year. I think he's very actively made it an ambition to get across. Good luck to Herta. He will be missed in IndyCar, but it's going to be a really tough gig. And if he doesn't crack down on the consistency in F1, it's going to be really tough for him in that scene for sure. For sure.
So you can't post links? No. That's to help us avoid spam. Apologies.
No spam.
You have to tell us what you're looking for.
And I still haven't found what I'm looking for. A stream for the race. Unfortunately, we can't promote any streams or do anything from there, but I'm sure there are alternatives to viewing the race that aren't NBC or Peacock.
Wink. My God.
That footage will be clipped and put in court.
Just Google it. Search on Twitter.
Google it.
Stuff.
Google it. Does Newgarden want wait to pit until he gets around O'Ward? Well, he's only just pitted, really.
Who? Sorry?
Newgarden. Depends how much he can eat into Pato into this stint. But yeah, Award, what's that? 3 seconds off power now.
Less than that. Less than that. It's basically 2 seconds off power.
Yeah, basically is, isn't it?
Newgarden's
Newgarden's 4 seconds off power. So power is the one really struggling here. But let's see. Now we are over halfway through the race. Scott Dixon, awesome helmet, by the way.
Awesome. Yeah.
I do really like
For
his
sure.
darkened version of his classic. It's kind of, I always think they're a little kind of flame.
Yeah.
It's because Scott Dixon's on fire.
I see fire.
I see fire.
But yeah, I don't think Newgarden has to worry about Pato. As long as Pato's going at a good pace to pull Newgarden along, Newgarden doesn't have to worry about trying to undercut Pato in this stint.
So, as things stand with the points as they run, Willpower leads. Joseph Newgarden remains the closest contender with 12 points, although if he can move up into P3, that will be 10 points. Scott Dixon looks a big loser at the moment, moving out to 31, making his chances in Laguna Seca very much more slim. Scott McLaughlin kind of is in the championship fight with 41. Pato with 64, Ericsson 44. So yeah, I suppose Ericsson's a big loser today.
Big. He goes out of championship contention, doesn't he?
Pretty much 44, I've got to say, is pretty much out of championship contention there. I mean, stranger things have happened this year. But if Power can just see home this podium, it pretty much is a straight shootout between him and Newgarden going into the last race. Power catching Scotty. Is he?
Yeah, in theory, yeah. He did this bit in the last stint. He came strong in that second half of the stint. Perhaps doing a bit more time management at the beginning. They have a bit more of an advantage on track to Scotty Mac.
I'm going to be honest. I think with Power, I think he's racing for P2. I think he's just got championship hat on and he's gone, Scott's driving a fantastic race. I don't want to push this car or push the limits that I might bin it or something might go wrong on this car. If I finish P2, I'm in a really strong position going in to Laguna Seca. And then it just leaves the last race that I've got to, as long as Newgarden doesn't win it, I've just got to finish ahead of it. And that's my championship one, my second IndyCar championship. Yeah, I think he's caught him by 2 seconds, but he'd also dropped back by 2 seconds at one stage as well, and now he's kind of gained a little bit. I think Power is just hitting times when he needs to, but not pushing too hard on Scotty Mac either. Alex, Pato closing slowly, surprise, still no yellow. I guess it's because after you get through turn one, it's not really... I wouldn't say it's a technically difficult track.
It's just super quick.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen Grosjean, you can maybe go a little bit hot into a corner. And then, but also, I suppose it's not a closed-in track either. So if you go off, you're only realistically looking at engine failures here or a collision on track.
Or a Jimmy Johnson spin into a stall.
Yeah.
We've seen a Jimmy Johnson spin, but he managed to perfect it to miss out the stall.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the biggest caution.
It's not the first time he's been at this rodeo.
Yeah. He's a pretty good spinner.
Looks like Simon Pagenaud is having issues as well. He's in the pits. I'm not sure what's happened there. It's been a funny season for Meyershank Racing. Definitely not the season I imagine they would have hoped for. Coming off the back of winning their first ever Indy 500 last year with Helio Castro-Neves. But they do have both drivers confirmed for the 2023 season. So it'd be interesting to see if they can kind of kick on. Pagenaud at times, obviously Castro-Neves again looks strong in the Indy 500. But Pagenaud at times has looked really good in that Meyershank Racing. But they just all year haven't been able to put together an entirety of a race package, have they?
No. They've never, like you said, they've never really been there or thereabouts. Even with on the ovals, where you think that's their speciality of their driver lineup, just haven't quite had the pace. But that's always a danger when you have a completely new lineup. Obviously, introducing the second full-time car this year. We've seen that affect other teams like Railway and Milanigan when they've introduced a new third full-time car this year. It's how you manage the resources across a bigger team. Because if you only got your engineers, mechanics, and whatnot for 2 cars or 1 car, like Maya Shank, trying to expand those to manage 2 full-time entries can be a challenge.
Absolutely. And obviously, if you expand to 3, you don't want necessarily a completely new team.
Exactly, yeah.
Completely fresh. So it means your kind of established teams get split up a little bit over drivers as well. And so therefore, harmony between things. It is just different beast than any other track. Absolutely. It is absolutely mad indeed. But it certainly is. But
here we go.
On track, O'Ward looks like he's got very close to willpower now. And I can't imagine he's going to fight O'Ward too hard here. But I think he may save his tyre life for keeping teammate Newgarden behind him. Because realistically, if O'Ward overtakes Power here, it's only a difference of like 2 points. And O'Ward's not massively a championship contender. If O'Ward goes on to win the race, then maybe we're talking a slightly different ball game, but he's a real big outside shot. He's going to have to rely on Power massively dropping off. Newgarden is the one that Power will probably look to use his tyres. So, look, we're pretty much getting too close to within half a second of O'Ward and Power. I imagine if O'Ward gets closer than that, I don't think Power's going to fight this position too hard. Like I said, championship hat on. He's got to think, what have I got to save my tyres for? O'Ward could pump draft with Power, then it can become a real race. Oh, yeah. If Pato and Power get into it and take each other out, Ericsson would be back in the championship. He would. Correct.
We don't want to see title rivals get punted out each other.
No. That was Swire Jones is no longer with us in IndyCar. So he lives. But he's no longer with us within the series, and I think that is his last stint. I remember Marshall talking about Ed. He was really surprised how it just never really came together. Thought very highly of him, but it just never quite worked.
No.
Never quite worked.
Well, I think it was his 1 year with Chip Ganassi, wasn't it? It was just didn't pan out, and that was his kind of one shot at the top, and no one else really wanted to touch him after that. That can happen if you don't perform.
He went with Ed Compton Racing. Was that kind of like a part-time seat? But that didn't really kind of work out after.
The thing is, if you go to the top team, you don't perform. You almost, with the current crop, with the constant flow of the young talent coming through, you get your one shot and that's it. If you don't perform, you're gone.
Yeah, so true. So true.
I'd say the only exception to that, possibly, is Team Penske with Will Power. Because Will Power's had a couple of rough seasons. They stuck with him, and you see what he's now delivering for the team.
And it looks like it's going to be another championship. Interesting, just looking at our push to pass at the moment. McLaughlin has the most out of anyone. I mean, he is in cruise control of this race at the moment. Power 61. O'Ward, interestingly, 90 push to pass. That definitely is a strong position for him and a weak one for Power. But Newgarden has used a lot, and he's had to make up his spaces. 31. So it's probably trying to work his way onto the podium and get ahead of Will Power for there. Power navigating his way through lap traffic, O'Ward, he would have loved to have got past Jimmy Johnson there, but Jimmy is now, it's a difficult sequence of corners that isn't quite wide enough to get past. Is Johnson going to let through? No, Johnson's running his own race. He doesn't have to let him through. The kind of nice thing would be to
look at this. Joseph Newgarden goes right on the back of Pato. He's going to have a shot on Pato down the home straight into the last sector of this.
Well, I think it's the back straight he's going to get his first shot at it here. But yeah, Jimmy Johnson, if you don't get past that lap traffic going into turn 1 on the home straight, it really stuffs you. But O'Ward's going on there. Looks like Newgarden got a terrible exit on a corner somewhere.
Where is Joseph?
He was right on the back of Pato. But yeah, he must have gone in way too hot into a corner. Go from there. Now he's stuck behind Jimmy. He'll overtake him on the main straight. But yeah, he is right up there. So we've now got this little kind of 3-train interesting fight for podium positions. And realistically, seeing where Lundgaard has dropped off in this stint, it's probably going to be a top 4 McLaughlin, Power, Pato and Newgarden, and it's just whatever order Power, O'Ward, Newgarden will finish in themselves.
Newgarden. He nearly mucked up that pass from Jimmy, and that would have been disaster for him.
Is anyone on different tyre strategy towards top? Yeah. So McLaughlin and O'Ward and Newgarden did the primary blacks at the start of the race, and McLaughlin and Power are getting their primary black stint done now. So realistically, after the next round of pit stops, it's just a straight shootout to the end on the sticker red tyres. But yeah, they have definitely, Newgarden, O'Ward and Power closed the gap. This is an engine issue. I think that is for the Bit Nile sponsored car of Connor Daly. Yeah. Whoa. What happened there?
Talking about volcanoes, that was a whole eruption right there. Oh, geez.
I don't know if he just had issues of the last race. Sorry, not last race, the last pit stop. Go for now.
Yeah.
Liam Talks Motorsport. Great to see you.
Who's this retiring? Is this Connor? Oh.
Yeah, I think it's Connor. I've got a writing gig. How far back are you guys? Are we back? We're on lap 72, if that helps you. Pato cops the JJ moving roadblock. I know. Yeah, that was a real eruption. I think, yeah, that is Connor Daly's car done for a day.
Unlucky Connor.
Interesting mixed season for Connor Daly. Probably a good time to talk about him from there. There's been some real highs, and at times was leading the championship when you thought actually VK was doing better, but
leading the championship at Edcombe Racing.
Yeah, not the actual championship.
You didn't specify.
Yeah, I
was like, wait, was there part of the season I missed?
No. Oh, you're ahead of me. I thought you were talking about his little back tire fire incident. No, we're not that one, Liam. There's some eruption that comes out of his fuel afterwards. You always feel for bad luck, Connor. Yeah.
Bad luck, Connor.
There's a lot of talent there, but he just, I don't know, just never seems to piece together. I thought having a full season, that confidence behind him in the team, that hopefully it would help him kick on, but it hasn't really. Power seems, I think we've got to that stage in the stints where the Reds have lost their advantage and the Blacks are pretty much the same. So I think what we're viewing here is how good the undercut is going to be for Newgarden.
Whoa.
Because he is the one who pits earliest out of these front runners, isn't it? I think Pato is the next to pit after that. And then Power and McLaughlin pretty much pit around about the same time.
Newgarden making that undercut work real well.
Yeah.
His in and out laps have been spot on so far this race. So yeah, he is a contender here to cause some trouble with an early pit stop. How quickly will the other front runners react?
No. Sorry. The primary tyre is the black tyre, and the alternative tyre is the red sticker tyre. I'm correct in that, aren't I?
Sounds about right.
Confusing. Sounds
I
about
get
right.
confused myself.
Yeah. Next year is the first time Connor has spent 2 full consecutive seasons with the same team. I know, crazy. So he really needs a big season. Yeah, I've got a writing gig with Formula Nerds. Nice. Well done, Liam. Congratulations. Connor Daly doesn't have as much bad luck as Chris Haymon. Yeah, true. True. 75 laps of 110 to go. So that leaves us with 35 laps to go. Very quick maths. I was confident in there, and then I second-guessed myself, so that's why I elongated 30. Go from there. I don't get it. Do you guys have an ad too? No, we don't have ads on the Sky Sports coverage. It just plays straight through. So when it goes to an ad break, a guy called Tom Gamer takes over the commentary, but we have commentary muted because if it got caught up on stream, copyright and all sort of things kind of get claimed on that. So, and videos blocked or whatever. So you just get us as your lovely commentators. If that is what you might have it on the background, and you might just kind of have whatever we're doing here. Anyway, you went full Murray Walker mode there. We try sometimes. We try.
I'm gonna have to stop now because I got a lump in my throat. Patos is not making any more progress. I thought Pato could win.
He might still do.
We're all talking about the New Garden undercar. What about the Pato undercar?
Yeah, I just don't know. I know. Well, he's technically closer for it because New Garden still technically is 7 seconds off Scott McLaughlin. Reds are called the alternate.
Nice.
Arsenal, yeah, look, I know. Sorry, we're usually Indy Fanatics. I forgot to bring my Indy Fanatics top. We were watching the Arsenal game earlier today. Didn't go well.
Arsenal have not entered a IndyCar entry.
Yeah. Liam obviously is coming to the chat as a Man United fan. We're going to win the league. No, you're not.
Shut down.
No. After today's performance, United performed well to get a result today, but I know they're developing and improving under Ten Hag. But
it's just like a mid-table team getting a good result at home against a title contender.
Absolutely, it all happens.
Things happen.
We're on lap 76, right? 77 for us now, but yes, probably at the time you messaged. Now, but seriously, we're finishing P4 at best. If you guys got P4, I would be massively surprised in United. But we are talking IndyCar, not football.
Nice, you've learned.
Good for that. Top 4 is where it's going to go. Lundgaard, can Dixon? Dixon's probably looking at P5 to keep his championship hopes alive, but he is really struggling over now. Newgarden might be able to take it all. He might be able to. We've got Rossy Pitting. Rossy is pitting. He is the first to go into, and I would assume, I don't know. I want to say that this is the last pit stop, but there might
one more window.
There might be one more window after this. I kind of feel with a kind of almost like 10 lap shootout.
Yeah.
Marcus Ericsson is the one to watch, I would say, in this regards. He has just hit his fuel numbers and tell you what,
they could. This is one more stop. Apologies. This then has been 30 laps so far for these front runners.
I think Ericsson has got one more stop in him.
No, I think everyone here is one more stop.
Yeah.
Because then they cut this current stint is 30 laps.
I think green flag, it just allowed it to go. Roman Grosjean, a man that we haven't really seen much. Christian Lundgaard comes into the pits. He will
Dixon
see if we can go from there. He's probably very glad that he's got off those black primary tyres as well. Yeah, Lundgaard, Dixon, VK, Palou, all in. Kirkwood as well.
Kirkwood as well. Nice.
The Dane is in.
I like it. I like how you give Carl a little shout out there.
Also,
it shall
when's
be
the Mike Couch account
interesting.
returning? I have no idea. Yes, I remember that Twitter. No idea.
PK comes out Lingard.
McLaughlin is in the pits. McLaughlin has pitted. So has Power. Very interesting.
So has Pato.
O'Ward and Newgarden. All the front four pit the same team.
Road.
So it is a battle pit road. So there will be no undercut or overcut. I don't know if Scott McLaughlin leading this race, he has just covered it off. He has said, I'm not even going to give it a chance. There is his teammate, Joseph Newgarden, just come in. Will Power looks a clean stop. McLaughlin does come out in front. Pato Ward right on the back of Power.
Look at this last in. Top four all together. But wait, is that Scott Dixon? No, it's Mark Ericsson. That livery every time.
Every time.
Ericsson, of course, still has to pit and comes out crucially ahead of Joseph Newgarden. So he's going to be a thorn in Joseph's side in this last stint as the front three are going to straight up battle it out. As there's only 2 seconds between the top three here. Scotty Mac's lead is gone. It looked like a bit of a slow stop. It looked all right, but it looked a little bit slow. Clearly it was. 2 seconds between the top three. Look at this. Joseph's chance may have gone. Coming out behind Ericsson.
And also, Joseph has gone onto a black primary tyre.
Whoa!
So he has run out of sticker reds. So I don't know if that is, he is hoping that they're going to last, and he's hoping for a red drop-off at the end. But the problem is, how competitive is his times? We already saw he wasn't necessarily too competitive on the black primaries. Going forward, Dixon, I think, has moved, as Dixon and Rossy moved up a couple of spots.
I think so.
Ahead of Rahal.
The only thing with the Newgarden logic, if he's purposely gone onto the blacks instead of the reds, maybe he hasn't got a red tyre. We haven't got commentary to tell us. In that last stint, the reds, even when they dropped off, were holding about the same pace as the black primaries. So unless these top three really hammer through their tyres, I can't see Joseph having any kind of advantage to come back at them.
No.
He's already dropped off about a second.
Absolutely. And Newgarden, as the points run, this will be the interesting one.
Oh, was this it? Was it Felix holding up Scotty Mac?
Naughty,
Well, no,
Felix.
yeah, of course that was. So
Felix
that was on the
out.
in-lap. This was Scotty Mac's in-lap, and he got held up by Felix, which is where the gap just absolutely got obliterated.
It does, but I think he's just gone from there. But points as they stand, Newgarden is going to be around that kind of 14-12 mark. Ericsson's in there currently, but he won't be. Scott Dixon, 29 points. It's a real tough ask. It feels like a straight shootout between Power and Newgarden going into the final race. I did see something about IndyCar were trying to drum up like a 7-way championship fight, and I was like going, lads, let's not get over enthusiastic here. I know anything can happen, and if Will Power and Newgarden DNF, then it really did bring everything into things. But it was going to be very unlikely. I think Power's just going to cruise.
Ericsson pits, so his hopes of a alternative strategy working are well and truly over.
Well, I think he desperately needed a yellow. I think, and he's also desperately hoping that some guys have to pit.
It was the end of that first stint. They're doing some ghost mode there.
Yeah, I guess it was a difference in laps.
It was Ericsson needed a caution at the end of his first stint. And then he would have got catapulted to the front. He didn't get it. And that's his hopes gone. He's out of the top 15. Once again, Marcus Ericsson is the yo-yo of Portland. Unfortunately for him, the yo-yo has been collected in the hand rather than at full extension.
Wow. What an analogy that is. Wow. That is what people come to Indy Fanatics for. That is for sure. Unbelievable. I've got a horrible gut feeling that we're just going to stalemate to the end of the race.
Well, yeah, Power's going to want to not wreck his tyres. Scotty Max had the pace all weekend. And Jimmy!
Caution!
We knew. As long as Jimmy was on the track, there could be a caution.
Oh my God. And Marcus Ericsson has just cursed everything.
Yeah, well, yeah, he needed this like 50 laps ago, so maybe that Kirsten's already been and gone.
Yeah. Now, whoa, okay. All right, I called it. My thing here is the man to watch out for on this
NBC
restart.
gone to classic adverts whilst someone crashes on track?
Probably.
Jimmy's binned on the home straight as VK.
Oh, okay. In fairness to Jimmy, that's got to be looked into it.
VK has actually put him in the wall.
Jesus.
That's nasty. Jimmy is just a
guy brutal.
Having the best time of his life, and VK has put him in a wall.
Great job, VK. I don't know. Is VK lining up a seat in the future with Ganassi or a Penske? Well, probably not a Penske for kind of going from there. Yeah, Ganassi, I suppose.
That's going to be a drive-through penalty for VK. I'm not sure where he was.
Or he's like Team Orange brother, Arrow McLaren SP. Let's give you a best shot. I was expecting Grosjean and Ericsson, and I got Johnson and VK. Nice. He was just minding his own business, I know.
So look at that. VK was running in the top 10, having a pretty decent weekend, and he's now going to go right to the back.
Yeah, that is big time. Oh, man, take it back. What the? In fairness, Alex, with Jimmy Johnson in that 48 car, Ganassi wouldn't have a 48 car if it wasn't for Jimmy Johnson.
He's not like taking a seat from anyone. Yeah,
they would. The only reason they have that seat is because Jimmy pretty much all burned there. That should be a park it penalty for Vika. I know that was awful. No, VK's not Indian. He is Dutch. Go on. I think it will be a penalty. I think it will be. They're showing PTP screen. Yep, so McLaughlin 83, Power 47, O'Ward 40, Newgarden 27, Rossy 11, Dixon 21. That's probably the interesting of where we are. So McLaughlin's got a lot to defend with. I think Power's not going to fight this restart too hard. He's just going to try and make it through turn one. If Pato lunges on him, I think he's going to let him go.
Pato has got McLaren. One of the things they have an advantage over the top teams is sometimes tyre wear.
Yeah. You know what also...
they're warming up tyres after the cautions.
You know what absolutely kills here? Newgarden is a sitting duck to Rossy and Dixon at the moment. He could lose out on further positions.
Yeah, that is a big thing because Newgarden needed green on those black primaries.
I think, yeah.
Because he's going to really struggle to get temperature into those tyres to be competitive against Dixon and Rossy, like you said. Whoa, I didn't even think about that. This could be horrific for Newgarden.
Yeah, this has definitely not worked out. Ron Rozeski, race stretches, will pair. Watch Pato here, fellas. I absolutely agree. I think this restart, Pato Ward is the man to watch because realistically, he's got nothing to lose. I don't think he feels he's in a championship fight. He just wants race wins. And he will throw everything. I think Pato will even sacrifice finishing this race for a chance of winning it.
I don't think he's going to crash out in the
I don't think he's
pursuit
gonna
of
go
winning this race. The only thing in the way of Pato in this race win is those 40 extra seconds Scott McLaughlin has on everyone else of push to pass.
It is.
On this track, just using that on the kind of exit of the last corner down the pit straight, it can be enough to defend against most people. It's just if Scotty has a dodgy first lap off this restart is where Pato's window is going to be.
We're seeing a push to pass screen. I don't know what you're seeing, Matt, is that Power's actually got more push to pass than Awards. They've got very similar, 47 to 40, so it's not a huge amount between them. VK, what was he thinking? He just didn't see him there, did he? Because he mustn't have thought that Jimmy was that slow. This is a typical Mazzoni.
Yeah, he came right back across him. Like he thought he cleared, but he didn't even clear Jimmy that much.
Is push to pass shown at race control? Can't find it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You just scroll along.
Yeah, I think Pato was massively using the last few laps because I feel he needed to get past somewhere.
Oh, you can't really see it. There's the push to pass.
Push to pass. IndyCar. But yeah, this is going to be interesting when it goes green. I think, probably going to have about 20 laps. And the thing is, probably 22 laps, it looks like. I think we're bunching up, getting ready for the safety car coming in this lap. Cautions do breed cautions. We've had a largely green race, but most drivers are going to go, this is my last shot of seriously making up positions.
That's like VK got away, or does he have to serve his penalty under green? I presume, maybe.
Yeah, I would imagine it's
that's a slam dunk. That isn't a accidental racing incident.
So Scott McLaughlin takes us to the green flag. Will Power has been left behind. Pato Ward has had a pretty good start. He's not gaining too much on Power. Will he make a lunge up the inside? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Lunge up the inside. Power does find it quite hard. They made contact. Power. Dixon, Newgarden went massively wide. Dixon's had a great restart. Power obviously had the contact with Will Power. Dixon's all over the back of him. This goes through the narrow section, the tight technical part of the track. When we get onto the back straight, it's going to be Dixon's next chance. He's going to make sure that he nails the exit to give himself a chance here on O'Ward. We said O'Ward was the man to watch. In fact, it was Scott Dixon.
Well, the thing was, Rossy was pushing Newgarden wide. Just like Will Power and Pato are coming together, exact same thing was happening to Rossy and Newgarden. It's left the door open for Scott Dixon to make the double overtake.
We said caution breeds caution. We did manage to make it through clean now. So I got to imagine, unless there's another VK fade moment where he just completely takes someone out or someone else takes somebody out, that this is going to go green. Dixon.
Watch Rossy and Newgarden here. Whilst all eyes was on Will, it was Rossy who caused carnage for Newgarden and allowed Dixon to come right through here.
So actually, yeah, it was. It wasn't necessary that he ran Newgarden wide. It's Rossy lunged up the inside of Newgarden as he then had the inside line going on to the second part of the chicane. He let the steering go wide and ran Rossy out wide. And like we said, Dixon, always a man who is going there.
That was close.
Pato and Power could have been really nasty.
That was a little bit naughty from Pato.
Power could have been absolutely fuming there if that went right.
A little bit naughty.
He just threw it up the inside. I said I was surprised that Power, he must have known that O'Ward was going to absolutely throw something. I'm surprised he fought it as hard as he did.
And look at this, Dixon now on the back because Pato has damage.
Pato has damage.
And Dixon makes an easy pass.
I don't know where Pato has got that damage as he hit the wall, because that wouldn't have been in the contact with Power, because it was his front making contact with the rear. I don't think that was the contact there. Has Pato hit a wall somewhere on the back straight or just hit a corner? Did he understeer? But Pato is now just going to be, he is going to be losing so much aero performance from that kind of flappy bit. Dixon was there. Dixon is on the podium. How has this happened? Dixon's got to be the big winner of the race, hasn't he? P16 today, championship
on the back of Joseph Newgarden as we ride on board of Will Power. But nice happening here as Rahal makes the move on Joseph Newgarden.
We know Graham Rahal is good at this track, don't we?
Joseph, you predicted on those black tyres is going to struggle as he could get eaten up by a handful of cars. That's Herta. He's going to do it to turn one. There's no pace on those black primaries. Newgarden's dropping like a lead balloon.
He's dropping like a lead balloon. For all you Newgarden fans out there, I think it's summed up for Mid-Blossom Films. No! 19 laps to go, and this is going to be a painful 19 laps for Newgarden because the last driver on black primaries is Palou down in 12th. And as the cars are going at this current state, Newgarden could drop as far as 11th, and that will massively hit it as Power looks comfortably in P2, although Scott Dixon probably looks the quickest man out there on track at the moment. But I don't know whether it was just purely...
And here comes Rossy!
Oh my God, Newgarden
and there goes Rossy.
Drops. Christian Lundgaard started P3, ran very well in the early stages this race, lost out big time on his black primary
That's a bad exit from Newgarden. Could he lose another place into turn one?
I don't
Christian
know.
lunges. Backs out.
So,
the switchback! What a move from Christian!
He has got no grip on those tyres. He's got nothing.
Whoa.
That was a superb overtake by Christian Lundgaard. What a bit of racing there. This caution has made things exciting. Unfortunately, if you're a Joseph Newgarden fan, you are watching this race with your hands in your head in your hands and peeping through your fingers because you're going, oh my God, Takuma Sato is, I don't know what he's doing. He is having his conversation with Grosjean and going, if Grosjean can cut out corners, I can cut out corners as well. That's not going to do his suspension any favours. Fantasy update again, 1478. Fantasy update for me. Power. Oh, Palou has hurt me bad. Lundgaard's hurt me bad. And Malukas. Let's not talk about it. 2. He's go from there. Wow. He is on ice skates. He absolutely is on ice skates out there. He is flying. So Graham Rahal moves into the top 5. Was a race contender last year for a large part of it until Palou came through from the back of the race. Very impressive from Alex Palou. Pretty much put both hands on the Astor Cup for Alex Palou last year. But yeah, that's a fantastic race. Gone under the radar for Graham Rahal, showing his experience over Christian Lundgaard, who ran very well but just struggled with that primary tyre stint. McLaughlin, I'm pretty sure it's in the bag. Go from there. But it's just what this damage for O'Ward can do. Will Graham Rahal be able to get past Pato towards the end of this race? He's getting very close on the start straight. He's going to have a look into turn 1. He's not close enough this time.
Oh, Christian and Rossy into turn 1, but Rossi's going to get him on the comeback.
Oh!
Christian, this is bad.
Oh!
This is bad. He hasn't shaked that advertising board.
Oh, Christian Lundgaard having such a fantastic end of this stint. He's got to clear that. It's got to fly off at some point. It is massively affecting his aero. Oh, my God. Christian.
My fantasy.
Oh, my fantasy. Christian, no!
I've seen, we see.
Who did it? Matt. This is Matt. Matt, you had Christian Lundgaard as well. This is your fault for boasting about who was in fantasy.
I've seen other racing series, they have those polystyrene boards when they have those runoffs that a driver could just obliterate. IndyCar probably cheaping out a little bit here, just having a advertising board that isn't going to break up when you hit it, and that's ruined That has ruined Lundgaard's race.
Sorry for you guys on ad breaks, but yeah, Lundgaard has lost all aero performance. He can't shake it. He's going to have to come into the pits to get this pulled off. And that is cruel because Lundgaard has driven a fantastic race. It was a bold, ambitious move on Rossy, just went in too hot, and it was a double whammy. Not only did he, lose traction on making that move on Alexander Rossy, but by cleaning out that advertisement board, it has ruined Christian Lundgaard's hopes of a strong top 10 finish. He was aiming to get into P7 to be 2 spots behind experienced teammate Graham Rahal. And real unfortunate for Christian Lundgaard there.
Yes, indeed.
Will this put Malukas P1 for Rookie of the Year?
Rossy has a little adventure onto the grass, and that probably opened the door up to Lundgaard for that whole lap. Not sure we're getting too much here. Yes, that was the start of the bench. Rossy ran wide.
And it just wouldn't turn. And he was so close. So close. That is so unlucky, stupid purple car. Sado. Damn, so close. I did think potentially we were going to get a late caution, and that was going to make things very interesting for Scott Dixon. But yeah, let's see the points as they live running, because obviously Joseph Newgarden has lost out big time. Still very much in that same position of where he needs to do. But yeah, this does change the points big time in terms of P2 in the championship. So Power obviously still leads, but Scott Dixon is now 20 points behind Power going into the season finale. Huge recovery. What a race by Scott Dixon this has been. Joseph Newgarden 20, and Marcus Ericsson with his performance today hasn't done as well as teammate Scott Dixon.
Although the yo-yo is being pushed back out as he comes into P12, back into the top 15 with a move on Kirkwood into that.
Absolutely. I mean, Scott McLaughlin's win puts him on level points with Marcus Ericsson. Considering that Marcus Ericsson got double points at the Indy 500, that just shows how impressive Scott McLaughlin has been. And how unfortunate for him that just after that start to the season, there was a little bit of inconsistency, but he could have been right there. And I think McLaughlin championship contender next year, for certain. Can Ericsson pull it off, win a championship after Ferrari saves Leclerc and watches Ericsson fall from F1 their rookie year? No. I'm going to say no.
Looks like Newgarden's been able to hold the pace on these tyres and hold off Callum Ilon and Felix Rosenqvist. But maybe I'm speaking too early here. There's still 12 laps for him to do that. He hasn't got much push to pass either to defend this. But you will see some tyre advantage towards the end of the stint. Not a lot. Maybe not at all with that caution.
Ericsson, I don't know if he's got a fastest lap, which has given him a point. He was a second ago, literally a second ago.
He just overtook someone.
Oh,
he
okay.
overtook Carl.
There we go. So that's the 1 point that he's got. That's where it's moved up. But Dixon is close to Power here. He's within a second, 11 laps to go. Will Dixon risk it? Dixon is the Iceman. He's the man that only really makes moves when he needs to do. He's the kind of slow accumulator of positions. I mean, it's only 2 points, but going into the season finale, 18 points behind Will Power or 20 points behind Will Power, every point could matter in this.
Yes, that's one less position for the gap has to be.
Yeah.
Or one more. It checks out for the season finale.
The numbers work. We've stacked the numbers work. I've got to say, considering that Pato has that damage, he's doing an incredible job. And also, Newgarden is doing a pretty stellar job here, holding on to P8 after dropping those other positions because, wow, he was certainly a sitting duck out there. It may help that it's Callum Ilott. I mean, Callum Ilott, P9 today would be a fantastic result for him and Hungos Holiday Racing. Every top 10 finish for Ilott this year is a superb achievement. And this may actually be his highest ever finish, I think, in IndyCar this year. I'm not sure. Has he finished in the top 10 before Ilott? I can't remember off the top of my head. I feel like he has, but I don't know if he was like running well and then it fell apart because that's happened a couple of times.
America?
Check it out.
Check it out now.
Callum, Ilott, check it out now. Have we left the window?
Yeah.
Sorry, neighbours.
I thought to circulate air.
Newgarden, I'm seriously top 3 driver in Indy. Yeah. Newgarden's incredible. There's no doubt in that. Dixon Newgarden is Prince Charming of IndyCar. No way Ilott, that British twerp, shakes him out the paint leg. Yeah, absolutely. Yo, Callum is a cool guy. This is not nice. Absolutely, yeah.
He came P11
Callum's a great guy. And considering that it's Hungos Holiday Racing's first return, I wouldn't expect him to be able to get past a Penske. But if he does, damn right impressive. Right about now, the Funk Show brother. Thanks, Matt.
He came P8 in Indy Road Course round 2.
There we go. Ilott has been super impressive. I agree. He also might be on the radar for a lot of the top teams. Certainly.
Certainly. Did I miss anything in my little foray to the window?
No, you didn't.
Nice.
We're just right on board with Scott McLaughlin. I'm sure commentary is just basically saying something like, Scott McLaughlin has been absolutely incredible today.
Where did Scott Dixon start?
Scott Dixon started 16th.
Whoa.
He's made up 13 positions today to put himself within a serious shot going into season finale. Realistically, today, he's only lost 2 points to Will Power.
Yeah. Considering Scott McLaughlin hasn't made up any positions today, I don't know how he's won this race.
I know. Startling, really.
Scott Dixon's made 13 positions and Scott McLaughlin's done none.
It's a joke.
The math doesn't check out.
It just doesn't make sense to me. 7 laps to go. Yes and no. Mid Blossom. Also, the dampers are a big difference, which is a huge impact on the mechanical grip. So that plays a part. So that's why you do have IndyCar is, in terms of series, is pretty much as competitive as you can get in spec racing cars, but there is still some room for development in dampers, and the likes of Ganassi, Penske and Andretti kind of lead in there, and that's where they've traditionally gone. I imagine Arrow McLaren SP have invested a lot of money in their dampers recently and go from there. But yeah, McLaughlin literally shows up and shuts down every series he goes in. I know, he's flying. Why do they lie to us and say it's spec? Because it is. It's the same chassis, same aero kit.
Largely same engines.
There are differences between the kind of the Hondas and the Chevys, but that's kind of like a main difference in there. But yeah, I love the Freightliner livery. I think it's a great livery, Matt Malarkey. But yeah, going back to the point of its spec, largely it is. It's going to be a pretty closest one and go from there. But the dampers do make a massive difference, especially in mechanical grip, in the cornering, And cornering is usually on racetracks where you make up a lot of the time. Your straight line speed can just be affected by the setup. We'll go from there. But the only thing not spec is the series, is the dampers. So yeah, exactly. It is go from there.
That's what's on the car, though. You've got to think as well, the data and the expertise of the backroom staff can also make a big difference, especially to car setups and everything like that.
Absolutely.
Simulators and all that malarkey. It's where you get the bigger teams. I think it was when we were speaking to Pelot, wasn't it? When he was making his move to Dale Coyne to Chip. He was saying the whole data gathering and analysis was a big difference between what he had between the two teams, which helped him improve his results. So yeah, there can be differences among the specness.
Spec. 4 laps to go. McLaughlin flies in the lead. Power has kind of settled into P2. It's been basically those two out front for the majority of the race. Power, in realistic here, I'm going to say I don't think he's tried too hard to fight McLaughlin for the win today. He's seen his teammate is absolutely flying. He's gone championship hat. I'm just going to make sure that I get a strong podium and get a strong points tally today. McLaughlin isn't in this championship fight. I can afford to let him win the race. But what I can't afford is to lose any major ground to my championship rivals. And that's exactly what he's done. Scott Dixon starting P16 today, currently running P3. Massive damage limitation. The Iceman, the man who consistently, this is where we coined our phrase, doing a Dixon. Or was it Alex Pelot last year was out Dixoning Dixon? Well, Dixon has returned to his empirical best with how he's been driving today. Absolutely fantastic, managing to get a podium out of this. Be a fantastic post-race interview for him. Pato Ward, P4, driven a brilliant race. Probably would be on the podium if it hadn't been for some damage that he got on the rear left bodywork, which would have affected his aero. But he's done a fantastic job to keep ahead of Graham Rahal. Graham Rahal, with 3 laps to go, may still make a late move, but I think Pato will hold on. Colton Herter, P6, and Rossy, P7. Pretty decent return for the Andretti Autosport drivers, but neither are likely to be at the team next year. Rossy obviously already confirmed at Arrow McLaren SP, and Herter, the news today, if super license points can be sorted, will be racing for AlphaTauri next year. So America's big young talent looks like he might be going to the largest or the biggest single-seater series in the world, in the form of F1. Newgarden on the black primary tyres, championship contender, was looking good to driven a fantastic race, but he looks like he's going to finish where he started this race, which was P8 after qualifying P2, had engine penalties, had this last stint on primaries. The late caution massively affected him. At the restart, he just went backwards. He's managed to hold on to it and stop the rot. A massive impressive result from Callan Eilert in P9 for Hungo's Hollinger Racing. He continues to have a super impressive rookie season. And Felix Rosenqvist, Pato Ward's Arrow McLaren SP teammate, be disappointed. Qualified, started the race as 6th and 7th together. But again, Pato shows his brilliance and is competing at the top, where Felix Rosenqvist just hasn't gone. White flag has been waved. It is the final lap here at the Portland GP. Big surprise of the day was we went through lap 1 without any issues in turn 1. But Stephen, how impressive has Scott McLaughlin been in this latter part of the season?
Dominant. He's dominated this race like he started it. He's kind of finishing how he started with some dominant displays. No one's had the pace for him. Will Powers always looked like he could come back later in the stints, but he's never been able to get close to Scott, other than when we had the caution, then he's physically been pushed closer to Scott. But yeah, Scott McLaughlin, untouchable around Portland, and a strong display from Penske, who last year struggled. And here he goes. Scott McLaughlin crosses the line and wins in Portland. Will Power P2 and Scott Dixon rounds up the podium with a Dixon-esque Dixoning Dixon race. I think I got that right.
Absolutely, you did.
But Will Power, the man, goes into the final race of the season with a 20-point lead. That's huge.
That is huge.
Newgarden or Dixon have to basically win at Laguna Seca to have a shot. Because if they're battling it out for lower positions, Will's got quite a big margin there.
I'm pretty sure if Will Power finishes in the top 7, anywhere between 7th and 2nd, with one of his title contenders in Dixon and Newgarden winning in Laguna Seca, he brings home the crowd. Power of the bus, bros. Absolutely. McLaughlin, Power, brilliant races today. I'm with Matt Malarkey. Power deserves the championship this year. He totally reinvented himself after 2021. He's also been P2 in the championship like 3 times. Absolutely. Will Power has been fantastic. And I think if you look at the season as a whole, who has been the best driver across the course of the season, across all races, for me, it has to be Will Power. He's been the most consistent. He's won races. He's done exactly the job that he needs to do. And he just has one final step to go. It will be 8 years after his first championship win in 2014 if he manages to secure it this year. Insane.
Big.
2018, he won his first Indy 500. Will Power equaled, didn't he, the record? Or is he one behind Mario Andretti in terms of all-time pole positions? He equaled the pole positions record, which was huge. We've had massive records this year from experienced guys within the series. Dixon becomes the 2nd most winningest driver in IndyCar history. Will Power equals the record for most pole positions. Over the past decade, if you're looking for raw pace, Will Power has been the consistently quickest man within the series. 1 championship and 1 Indy 500. Incredible achievements by themselves, but probably don't do the talent of Will Power justice. Probably his temperament has let him down in the past, letting things get to him too much. He's definitely been an emotional driver in the past as well, but we have seen a refreshed, a relaxed Will Power come to terms with previous frustrations and seasons gone by, and he is leading the charge into that final race. Incredible. But this man on screen, Scott McLaughlin, has won another race this year, won the first race out in St. Petersburg, took the season by storm, so close to making it back-to-back wins and winning in Texas with Newgarden and his teammate pipping him at the line. But his sophomore season, his 2nd season within IndyCar, this guy now only looks like it is a matter of time before he becomes a championship contender. Question is, will he be able to deliver at the Indy 500? He loves the Indy 500 as well. Scott McLaughlin has been a huge addition to this Penske team. And all you can say is he's 110% not letting Penske's faith down in him. I think it's been an incredible sophomore year. It's an incredible performance today, and I can't wait to see what 2023 holds for him.
Whoa, and breathe.
I know.
Woo! What a race. Really enjoyed that. It livened up with the VK demolition of Jimmy Johnson's car.
Nice, Alexander.
And yeah, just impressive drives from all the top 3. Proper championship drive from Will. Dixon drive from Dixon, and domination from Scott. And there's not much to that. Add to that as we go into the title decider next weekend at Laguna Seca. Unfortunately, said at the start, We will be missing it because of my poor choice of holidays. But you will be live on the Monday?
I'll be live on the Monday. So we will have a race review where we will know who will be the champion of the 2022 season. My gut feeling, someone asked me before this race happened, I think even before Gateway happened, said, if you could put money on who would win this championship with 3 races to go, who would it be? And I said, Scott Dixon, because he just has a track record of doing it. Scott has brought up 2012, a painful one for Will Power fans, absolutely. But look, I think Power deserves it. But the fact that Scott Dixon this year, I remember it's so a thing that having conversations, people like Scott in chat, doubting whether Dixon still had it, whether he was on the decline, whether he'd reached that age where all drivers, get to where...
He got removed off the marketing material.
He did. He got removed.
I was saying he was washed, and then they removed him off the marketing material. And I said, that's disrespectful. And here he is, proving the haters at NTT wrong.
Crazy.
Whoa.
So, as the points stand, Will Power 523. It looks like it's a 3-way fight between Power, Newgarden, Dixon. Ericsson's gone. He is out of the championship. McLaughlin needs basically a catastrophic turn 1 for Dixon, Newgarden, and Power to claim an unlikely victory in the championship. We go from there. To quote Unforgiven, deserves got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But all you can say is Will Power has given everything to this championship. And he is going to be a nervous boy going into that last race next week. But
I'm not sure. Will Power just strikes me as like super laid back this year and just enjoying racing.
I think, yeah, good point.
If he loses the championship in Laguna Seca, is he going to be disappointed? Probably, but not for long.
Because I imagine he's probably going to go
next year. I've got another seat at Penske, doing what I love, and I'm going to race like I always race next year.
He's lifted that massive pressure off his shoulders.
He's won everything.
Maybe that's
in
what's
IndyCar.
happened.
He's won everything.
He has.
So there's nothing more he needs to do. But yeah,
crazy.
I think that's a good point to round up.
Absolutely.
Finish off and prepare ourselves for another season of IndyCar going down to the wire in the last race. Got to love it.
We do. Absolutely have got to love it. And I gotta say, it's just been special. Absolutely has been special watching the championship this year. We said, can it get better than 2021? You know what? I think this is a damn good season, 2022. It's been incredible, and there's been a load of high moments. And, it's hard to top at Elio Castroneves doing a record equaling 4th Indy 500. But Ericsson doing there, and just the way this championship has flown by, and we've had some brilliant races. It's been great. But thank you to everyone in chat. As always, we appreciate you taking your time to spend it with us, sharing your love of IndyCar as we share our love of IndyCar with you. But yeah, another brilliant race, a season finale set up for a fantastic end to a fantastic season. But if you're new around here or haven't done so already, what can they do, Stephen?
They can like, subscribe, and ding that bell.
Ding it. So for now, you Indy fans, keep racing.